They won 10 more games than they did last year too. And I know that the fan base is loving what they're seeing. I mean, when it comes to the Knicks, I think they probably have one of the greatest fan bases, period, in sports, because those guys in New York, they are ride or die with the Knicks. They always have been. They don't care if the Knicks suck. They will rep them all the way. And I love that. I love that kind of passion. I mean, I love the Knicks, and I'm not even from New York. But something that really concerns me is Julius Randle. Now, Julius Randle is an all-NBA talent. That cannot be denied. 2 years in a row now, it's been all-NBA. Or was it? It was this year for sure.
Yeah, let me
last
look
year,
it up
the year
real fast.
before that, right? Anyways, he's had consecutive all-NBA appearances, and he's an all-NBA talent for sure. The issue is during the postseason, this guy just kind of wilts, man. And that to me is very alarming. So the big piece of the pie here is, what are we going to do with Julius Randle? Do we just kind of let him ride it out and figure things out? Now, granted, this year he got hurt. I understand that. Last year they didn't make the postseason, but the year before that they had a very embarrassing first-round exit to Trae Young. And what they kind of showed me, JD, this year is I don't think they need Julius Randle anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, like you were mentioning before, Julius Randle is a two-time All-NBA caliber player. And, he's potentially going to be getting more of those votes each year. He is a great player. As you've mentioned before, he had some struggles in the offseason. But, I mean, there's a lot of guys who have struggled in the offseason. If we look back just a couple weeks ago, we saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who Jason Tatum I consider and most consider to be a top 5 player in the NBA, really struggle that series, against the Miami Heat. As well as Jaylen Brown, who's touted as a superstar, who's top 5 in his position. He struggled as well. And so I don't want to put it totally on Randle. I think that it's a team effort. I do think Randle did struggle. I do think, though, that the team needs Randle. And if they want to keep going further and further, not just be a second-round exit, but continue on, they're probably going to want to keep Randle unless they have some fantastic trade acquiring some superstar.
See, and I agree with you, but I don't. I think that where they're at now, this might be their ceiling unless Julius Randle somehow finds a way to bring his regular season to the postseason. I mean, like we said, man, this guy is an all-NBA talent, and he's deserving of that too. Like, he really is. And he's a dog, man. The guy, plays like 38 minutes per game. He goes out, he'll play 40, he'll play 45, he'll play 48. Like, Tibbs loves him. The dude is hardcore. He has a lack of self-awareness during the postseason, and I don't know if it's because of the game, how it kind of slows down, or what the corrections need to be to fix that. But I'm just alarmed. I think that there's a little bit of a cause for concern for Julius Randle in that sense. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if the right trade is available, for a superstar talent you could put next to Jalen Brunson, who is the new king in New York City, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's special.
I think we can agree on that, Doc, that Jalen Brunson is probably the face of that org now. That guy's an absolute monster, and I think that he is going to be the face of the New York Knicks for a little bit. But, just coming back to Randle real fast, and I know that we're going to kind of get a little bit more into this with trade targets, free agents, potential trade routes that maybe the New York Knicks could do. What could be done? I think that if you have an all-NBA player, I think that you need to ride or die with that guy. Is there somebody else that you might be thinking of?
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Obi Toppin get put into a role where he can really flourish, because he has shown flashes of greatness when he is able to go out and play. I would love to see him to continue to develop, kind of how Emmanuel Quickly, we're going to get to him. Cool. boy is fire for
In
sure.
my opinion,
But
he
they
should have
have a
been sixth
strong.
man of the year.
I agree. They have a strong young core though, and I would love to see Toppin develop. But the right guy would have to be available. That's the thing.
My problem with that is, with Obi Toppin, I totally agree with you. I am on the Obi Toppin train. However, I think he fits a different timeline. I think he's around 25 though.
Mhm.
But if you move on from Randle, try and acquire a great asset, and then you make Obi Toppin your starting guy, I just think it's going to diminish the team overall. I think Julius Randle is that all-NBA guy, and if Obi Toppin ever becomes something like that, I think it's going to take at least a few years to develop.
It could, yeah. And where they're at now, too, the Knicks as a front office are in a great position. None of their guys are making over $28 million. They have Randle locked in for the next 2 to 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. They have their core in place. They have Mitchell Robinson. They got Jalen Brunson. They just extended R.J. Barrett. They have Julius Randle on the books. They have their starting five, and then they have Grimes as well, who I have no doubt they're going to extend next year.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Full Court Press NBA podcast. For the full podcast, click the link below and subscribe for more hoops content.